Earthworm Jim was made in 1994 and it exploded onto the Sega Mega Drive and blew me away. I mean, the cartoon-style graphics and slapstick-style humour made this game an instant hit. I mean, for a start, your hero is an earthworm who happens to find a special spacesuit lying about and it turns him into a superhero. I mean, how great is that? Anyway, Earthworm Jim was a 2D platform masterpiece with great levels, great graphics for its day, and the game never took itself too seriously. I mean, take Earthworm Jim himself. In order to defeat enemies and reach high places, he could use himself as a whip, like a sort of worm version of Indiana Jones. As well as that, he had a blaster which could blow crows and angry dogs to bits, and on top of that, Jim spent his time launching cows into space, racing a giant chicken, and fighting a giant bogey. Earthworm Jim was a classic character, so classic that he got his own cartoon show. And like Sonic the Hedgehog, he became a Mega Drive megastar. But the game had fantastic levels, great characters and fun challenging 2D platform gameplay. Earthworm Jim was a huge success. I love this game and even bought it again on the Xbox 360, and I'm glad I did, because sadly you can't buy the game anymore on the marketplace. I found out the game was so old the rights to the game had been sold or they'd run out, and this meant the game can't be sold anymore, which is totally ridiculous, and someone should buy the rights and remaster this fantastic game. Having said that, Earthworm Jim was remastered for consoles like the 360, but like I said, even though it's on the marketplace, you can't buy it. At least that was the case last time I checked. So it's kind of tragic that this game might be lost to new generations, because it's just as great as Sonic the Hedgehog or Streets of Rage or any other classic. The gameplay basically consists of Jim whipping, swinging and blasting his way through levels, but in between levels he would race through space against a giant chicken, as you do. On top of that, you had a diving bell level that was notoriously hard, because every time you bumped you cracked the dome, which made the level brilliant but incredibly frustrating, as you slowly and carefully manoeuvred around the level. There were also end-of-level bosses, including fighting a giant bogey on a bungee rope, which was great. You had to hit each other until one rope snapped. It was this kind of crazy creative genius that made this game such a big hit. I mean, whether you were launching a cow, chasing a chicken, or beating a bogey, Earthworm Jim was always fun. The levels, the characters, the strange but dramatic and funny music, all this made the game shine like a star. As kids, almost everyone who had a Mega Drive had this game. Jim even had his own catchphrase, shouting "groovy," and if you stopped playing, he would stand there flexing his muscles until his trousers fell down. I mean, everything in this game was designed to make you laugh, smile, or say, "What the fuck?" To be honest, I preferred Earthworm Jim to Sonic the Hedgehog. It was something different, something special, and I'd never seen anything quite like it before. I mean, if this game had been made today, it would still be a huge hit. In fact, games like Earthworm Jim were the reason 2D platform games are still popular today, because you can't beat a bit of classic 2D action. And Earthworm Jim is a total masterpiece. The thought, the creativity, the humour that went into this game is something you don't see very often today, but then not many games are as perfect as Earthworm Jim. In the end, Earthworm Jim takes its place with the classics of gaming, up there with Metal Slug, Streets of Rage and Smash TV, and even the great Sonic the Hedgehog himself. The game created a character that was so popular that he had his own TV show, and, of course, it created a bunch of sequels. Sadly, like many sequels, the games weren't as good as the original. The sequels never lived up to the first game, and it's easy to see why. The idea and creativity behind Earthworm Jim was something that was rare and hard to reproduce, and changing the style of the game was never a good idea. But if I had to rate it, I would have to give Earthworm Jim 93 out of 100, because it's close to 2D platform perfection. Its humour, its levels, its character, all add up to make it one of the most memorable and brilliant games of all time. In the end, I'd have to recommend Earthworm Jim to everyone, because the game is very, very groovy.